The spinal cord is a long, thin cylinder of nervous tissue. This tissue extends from the base of the brain at the medulla oblongata down the spine. In adults, the cord is about 18 inches long and varies in width from about a half to a quarter inch in diameter. The cord goes through the spinal canal and is protected on all sides by rigid bones known as vertebrae. These vertebrae make up the spine. The spinal cord is one of the most important structures in our body, and, along with the brain itself, the spinal cord makes up what is called the central nervous system, or CNS for short. As part of the CNS, the spinal cord carries out two primary functions. The first function of the spinal cord is to relay information to the body's extremities, known as the peripheral nervous system, or PNS, to and from the brain. Information from environmental cues, like pain, texture, or temperature, is brought to the spinal cord from the PNS. This information is then brought to the brain and processed, which allows us to register sensations from the environment. The brain can also send information towards the PNS, such as the case for things like movement. Information from the brain is sent down the nervous tissue of the spinal cord and into the PNS. The message, known as an action potential, is then brought to its destination where the muscles are stimulated into movement. The second important function of the spinal cord is its role in our reflexes. Pulling your hand away from a hot stove, blinking, and gagging all require the spinal cord. Because action potentials take time to travel from the PNS to the brain and back again, many reflexes rely on the spinal cord to shorten the route. In this diagram, a candle will burn someone's finger. Rather than take a long path towards the brain for processing and then reacting, reflexes send an action potential from the finger and into the spinal cord. The spinal cord can immediately pick up on the heat from the candle and will immediately send a signal to withdraw the finger. This way, the body may react quickly to sudden changes and prevent harm. Given the importance of the spinal cord, an injury can have devastating effects on the body. The most common spinal cord injuries, or SCIs, are the result of physical trauma. In the United States, most spinal cord injuries come from one of four things. In order of frequency, they are motor vehicle accidents, falls, violence, and sports injuries. Each of these cases involves putting significant stress on the spinal cord. This can be caused by hyperextending the back, rotating the spine or neck too far, or compressing the spine, as is the case in most shallow pool diving injuries. There are three divisions of the spinal cord that may be affected by an injury. The lumbosacral region is found in the lower back and pelvis region. An injury here could lead to partial or full loss of leg movement, bladder and anal retention issues, and sexual dysfunction. The thoracic region is found at chest level. Injuries here usually prevent proper functioning of the core muscles of the body but leave the arms untouched. Other complications include dramatic changes in blood pressure, which could lead to stroke. The cervical region is found at the neck level. Injury here results in the most serious of consequences. In addition to the previous issues, one will lose arm movement and may have limited breathing. Injuring the spinal cord here will result in quadriplegia. Certain degenerative disorders caused by one's genes can also damage the spinal cord. These include spinal muscular atrophy, multiple sclerosis, and ALS. Although there is no cure for a spinal cord injury, an SCL can be treated in several ways. Medications like methylprednisolone can reduce the damage to nerve cells and decrease inflammation if administered shortly after an injury. Surgery can be used to remove objects that could be compressing the spine, like broken vertebrae or tumors. Additionally, physical therapy can help to strengthen existing muscles. New technology, like modern wheelchairs and computer adaptations, can also be used to deal with the spinal cord injury. Because spinal cord injuries are irreversible, it is important to take preventative measures like avoiding strenuous activity and wear your seatbelt. Spinal cord injuries have serious consequences that can be prevented. Right now, they are irreversible, but new technology is being developed every day. Until then, stay safe.